Leetcode question 560, subarray sum equals k. So given an array of integers nums and an integer k, return the total number of subarrays whose sum equals to k. So you have to see that the numbers are 1, 1, 1. So the target is k, right? So you can add these two as 2 and add these two as 2. So then the sum is so you have two array that can add up to 2. So you return 2 in this case. And the second example, 1 to 2 is equals to 3, and 2 to 3 equals 3 itself equals to 3. So there's two ways then you return 2, and then there's some constraints here. The nums could be minors, and if you look at here, and the company asked this question, Facebook asked 141 times in the last 6 months. So definitely a great question to practice on, as this is a high frequency question. So the idea is that how you want to solve this problem is that, of course, you can brute force it, but then it's not a very efficient way, and you're gonna have to add every single sum and then check if they're equal to k. That's very inefficient, and most likely the interviewer will ask you to see if you can optimize the solution. So for optimized solution is that you go through let's look at the nums as 1, 2, 3. And basically second example, and k equals to 3. And let's check this case. So what you wanted to do is actually you're using a hash map. The hash map will store the sum you counted along the way, and the count. The count that how many times you see the sum in this array. So if you count this the sum array is, if you look at it, it will be the first one when we go. So we will only need to go through the array once. That's the single pass, which is very efficient. So we look at the first number, the sum is 1, right? And then the count is 1 because we only see 1 once. And then we add the second one, it's 1 plus 2 is equals to 3, and we only see this once, right? And then we continue to add, and the sum will be 6, right? And then we only see 6 once, and that's basically how the hash map looks like. What we wanted to do is that, how do we count the thing as a result? If we only count the 3 as the target that we're looking for, that's definitely not correct, because you can see there's only 1 3 here, right? What we wanted to do is, if you think about it, the sum, here is the sum here. I'm gonna write 1 3 6, and when you see there are differences, so basically the sum minus k, and you know that the number in between is they adds up to the k. So in this example, you can see that the 6 minus 3 is actually equals to 3 between the 3 and the 6. And how do you add up this number? It's the number in between the sum of 3 and the sum of 6 is only one number, 3. That's actually one of the answer we're looking for. So the condition is actually if the subarray sum minus k is in the hash map that we're looking for, then we want to result is +1, right? +1. And if you look at this array here, and we do see a scenario that is 3, but if we look at this array, it won't include a scenario where that should be another answer, but we couldn't find it in the array, because for the rest of the sum minus k, none of them can be found in here. That's why there's one technique that you can think of, is that you want to initialize this hash map with a sum as 0 and count as 1. If you do this, if you add a 0 in this case, it will make much more sense to you, because when you go from 0 to 3, there's another 3 here. So, and then 3 to 6, there's another. So sum minus k and sum minus k and sum minus k. And you can see that go from 0 to 3 is one answer. 3 to 6 is one answer. So there are total two answer here. Basically, one lies in the 3, and one is the 1 to 2 plus combo. And that's basically how the thought process is and how you can solve this problem more efficiently. And I'll show you how to do this in code. And basically, I will set a result that basically the output, the count that we're looking for initially as 0. And I'm gonna say subsum. I'm gonna use this as for the variable to store every single sum. 1 plus 2 equals 3, and subsum equals 0 at the beginning, and I'm gonna count them together. And I'm gonna use our subsum map to store the number. And remember, we wanna initialize the subsum 0 equals to 1 in this case. We're gonna give it 0 at the beginning and a count as 1. So for n in nums, every single number in the nums array, and the subsum, right? Subsum will just be every single nums added together. So I'm just gonna add them together for every single sum. So while I'm adding them, what I'm gonna check is, remember, I'm gonna check the subsum that I have added minus k to see if they're in the map along the way. Because if they're in the map along the way, that I know that in between, the numbers in between can add up to k. So if subsum minus k in SS map, in the subsum map, right? If every single time I found one, I'm gonna increase the count for the final result. That means we found a answer result. I'm gonna essentially, in the end, I'm gonna add up the SS maps count, basically subsum minus k. So I'm gonna look at the subsum minus k and minus 3. And if they add up to the result, if they add up to if subsum minus k is in the map, then I'm going to increase the result. And then the next step is that I'm gonna write every single subsum in the array to the hash map. If subsum in SS map, if it's in there already, I'm gonna subsum just plus 1. Else is that if it's not in the map already, I'm gonna map subsum, just gonna assign it to 1. And in the end, what I'm going to do is return the result that I'm looking for. Let's see. Yep. So if you think this is helpful, please like my video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon with more Leetcode questions. Bye bye.